Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something real quick. You are not here by accident. God didn't wake you up this morning just to scroll through social media and compare your life to somebody else's highlight reel. Nah, you were given this day to work on you, to focus on you, to build something that belongs to you. We live in a world where comparison is easier than ever. With just a few taps, you can scroll through someone's life and start to feel like you're not doing enough, not achieving enough, or not moving fast enough. But what you're seeing is not the full picture. It's a highlight reel. People only post the wins, the vacations, the celebrations. They don't show the nights they cried themselves to sleep, the failures, or the silent struggles. And yet we fall into the trap of measuring our own worth against these carefully curated moments. When you compare your journey to someone else's, you rob yourself of your own timing, your own progress, and your own lessons. Everyone has a different starting point. Some people were born into privilege. Others had to fight for every inch they gained. So it makes no sense to compare timelines. Life isn't a race, it's a path. Some walk, some run, and some have to crawl. But as long as you're moving forward, you're doing just fine. Focusing on others creates doubt, frustration, and insecurity. It causes you to lose sight of your own potential. You start chasing what looks shiny instead of staying true to what you're really meant to build. You begin adjusting your goals to match someone else's instead of listening to your own calling. That's dangerous, because the moment you take your eyes off your path, you delay your own progress. The truth is, you can't grow looking sideways. You grow by looking inward. You've got your own lessons to learn, your own pace to honor, and your own success to create. What works for them might not work for you, and that's okay. Their journey is theirs for a reason. Yours is yours for a purpose. Discipline is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Distraction is everywhere, in your pocket, on your screen, in your conversations. Every day, you're bombarded with notifications, opinions, entertainment, and noise. If you're not careful, your whole day can slip away without you doing one thing that brings you closer to your goals. That's why discipline is so powerful. It creates a barrier between you and the chaos. It tells your mind what to focus on, even when everything else is pulling you in a different direction. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about consistency. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about getting up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's about putting your phone away and working when nobody's watching. It's about saying no to temporary pleasure so you can say yes to long-term purpose. That's not easy. It's uncomfortable. But that's where growth happens. In discomfort and resistance, in the decision to show up anyway. Distraction offers you an escape. Discipline offers you results. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're making an investment in your future. You're proving to yourself that your goals matter more than your impulses. And that builds confidence, that builds habits, that builds momentum. The more disciplined you become, the less attractive distractions begin to look. People often think success is about talent or luck, but most of the time it comes down to how well you can manage your focus. If you can learn to control your time, your attention, and your actions, there's almost nothing you can't accomplish. The world doesn't reward good intentions, it rewards execution. And discipline is what makes execution possible. Your vision was given to you for a reason. It didn't come through a committee. It wasn't delivered in a group text. It came to your heart, your mind, in your quiet moments, because you're the one who's supposed to carry it out. Too often, people make the mistake of looking for validation before they move. They want everyone around them to understand, support, and celebrate the dream before it even begins. But that's not how vision works. People can't see what you see because it wasn't shown to them. They don't feel what you feel because the calling wasn't placed on their spirit. Trying to get everyone on board before you take a step is a guaranteed way to stay stuck. You'll always find someone who doesn't get it, who thinks it's unrealistic, who asks, why would you do that? That doubt can plant fear. And if you're not strong in your belief, you'll start watering that fear until it chokes your vision. That's why you have to protect it. Don't expect applause for something you haven't built yet. Don't wait on agreement before you begin. Start anyway. Your vision is your responsibility. You're the one who has to nurture it, work for it, and believe in it, especially when it's just an idea, when there's no evidence, when nobody's cheering you on. It's not your job to convince people. It's your job to execute. When it starts becoming real, they'll see. But by then, it won't matter what they think. You'll already be living what they said was impossible. Vision is personal, it's intimate, it's sacred. You don't need a crowd. You need courage. The ones who were meant to support it will show up at the right time. Until then, stay locked in on what you've been called to do. Excuses are easy. They're always available. You can find one for every missed opportunity, every late start, every unfulfilled promise to yourself. You can blame the economy, your upbringing, your lack of connections, or the fact that you're tired. Excuses feel comfortable because they shift the responsibility away from you. They give you a story to tell when people ask why you're not where you want to be. But here's the truth. Excuses don't move your life forward. They don't pay the bills. They don't build dreams. They don't leave a legacy. Action does. Every step you take, no matter how small, gets you closer to where you want to be. But action requires ownership. It means standing in front of the mirror and saying, if it's going to happen, it's on me. That kind of honesty is hard, but it's the foundation of success. Once you stop giving energy to excuses, you start reclaiming your power. You start realizing that you don't have to wait for conditions to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to begin. Most people never reach their potential because they've perfected the art of the excuse. They've built a routine around delay and self-doubt. But your goals don't care about your reasons. They respond to what you do, not what you meant to do. You can have every excuse in the world or every result you've ever wanted, but you can't have both. Taking action, even when it's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or unclear, is what separates dreamers from doers. There will always be a reason to wait. There will always be a reason to quit. But those who rise are the ones who choose action every time, no matter what. Pain is not the enemy. It's the signal that something inside you is stretching, breaking, rebuilding. Most people try to avoid pain at all costs. They run from it, numb it, or deny it. But pain is part of the process. It's the price of growth. You cannot become stronger without going through something that challenges you, something that forces you to dig deeper than you ever have. Pain teaches you what comfort never will. It humbles you. It sharpens your perspective. It forces you to see what really matters. When you hit a wall, when life knocks you flat, when everything feels like it's falling apart, that's not the end. That's the moment where something new can be born. Pressure makes diamonds, heat purifies gold. It's the struggle that gives the victory meaning. Without pain, success would feel empty. It would have no weight, no story, no soul. The obstacles, the disappointments, the heartbreaks, those are not setbacks. They are setups for what's coming next. They are the forge that shapes your strength. You don't have to love the pain, but you do need to respect it. Learn from it. Let it show you who you are and what you're made of. Every challenge is a mirror. It reflects your resilience, your grit, your hunger. It reveals whether you're committed or just interested. When you push through pain, you earn a confidence that can't be faked, a toughness that can't be bought. You stop fearing the struggle and start understanding its purpose. Pain is not punishment, it's preparation, it's training, and it's proof that you're on the edge of something worth fighting for. Success doesn't show up for the most talented. It doesn't chase the loudest or reward the most popular. It shows up for the one who stays focused and refuses to quit. Focus is rare in a world full of noise. Everywhere you turn, something is trying to steal your attention. Scrolling feeds, endless opinions, distractions dressed up as opportunities. But the people who win, the ones who rise to the top, are the ones who learn to lock in. They choose to drown out everything that doesn't move them forward. They stop explaining themselves and start building in silence. Focus is the discipline to stay committed even when the process feels boring, repetitive, or invisible. It means showing up on the days when nothing is happening, when no one is clapping, and when the finish line still feels far away. Most people quit not because they aren't capable, but because they get distracted, discouraged, or impatient. They want fast results. They want overnight success. But real success, it takes time. It takes stubborn effort. It takes an unshakable mindset. When you stay focused, you start to create momentum. And momentum is powerful. It compounds. 1 hour of deep work a day turns into a skill, then into mastery, then into income, then into freedom. But you'll never see any of that if you keep switching lanes, chasing trends, or worrying about how far along someone else is. Staying focused is about knowing your mission and refusing to be pulled off course. It's not glamorous and it's not easy, but it's what